Hey guys, RanterInShades here, exercising my First Amendment rights vlog style, and it's time once again for another installment of Crybabies of Rock. I'm aware Anthony Fantano already made a video about this on his second channel that I saw in my subfeed literally after I had just finished writing the script for this video, but I am not letting this go to waste. Fucking melon you.
So go on and cry me a river. Don't say this will haunt you forever. It never did. It never will.
I've made it no secret over the years I've been making videos that Steel Panther is a band I greatly enjoy. Given that I'm a major glam metal fanatic, Steel Panther is of course going to be a band with a sound that appeals to me. Much to the disappointment of a lot of the people that comment on my best glam metal bands you never heard of video, I'm not the hugest fan of most of the glam revival bands of the 2000s, but Steel Panther just have a sound I can't up and pass up just because they aren't from the 80s, even though the backstory that they have kind of suggests otherwise, which I just like to play along with. One of the things I love the best about their music is that even though the lyrics are super raunchy and goofy, which is meant to parody 80s glam/hair metal bands, the music itself is awesome enough that you can look past them and enjoy the music itself for what it is. Heavy yet catchy, shreddy metal goodness. Which is not only why they're my favorite throwback band, but also why I don't really like calling them a joke band that we shouldn't take 100% seriously. Can the guitar work all of a sudden not be marveled over just because the lyrics aren't serious? Nope. Didn't think so. If you're lacking in a sense of humor or an ability to look past the lyrics and focus strictly on the music, Steel Panther probably isn't a band for you. And the people I'm going to be talking about in this video are no exception to that fact. I always figured Steel Panther would be a band SJW types would target, and they probably have bitched about them more than I care to realize over the last decade or so since Feel the Steel's release in 2009. It was just a matter of when. But you know something? Like I said or implied in my last video, I'm a very optimistic person. I'm not someone who assumes the worst in any given situation, outside of times where I deal with anxiety attacks, so I allowed myself to think people like these would at least have enough common sense to not take a band like Steel Panther seriously. But of course, it's 2018 where anything can happen. How naive and foolish of me. What am I talking about? Steel Panther's guitarist,
Satchel,
aka Russ Parrish, worked with the famous guitar electronic company TC Electronic, who I happen to own a couple really nice pedals from, to design a TonePrint. What's a TonePrint, you ask? It's a digital virtual pedal board app where you can search a guitarist and essentially have their sound and the effects they're known for using available for download. I've seen guys like my senpai Tyler Larson of Music Is Win and Leo Maracchioli of Frog Leap Studios promote this app on their channels, and if I had the money for it, it definitely sounds like something I'd be interested in trying out. So being that Satchel is very well known in the metal world and among guitarists, it doesn't surprise me that he'd be a guy TC Electronic would want to sit down with and develop a TonePrint with. After all, one thing everyone loves about Steel Panther is the guitar sound. It's scorching and blazing, and it's definitely a tone I could see a lot of people wanting to capture for themselves. So the TonePrint pedal they made was called the Pussy Melter, because one thing Satchel and the guys in Steel Panther love doing every night when they're not melting faces with their glammy wonderfulness is melting pussies, as opposed to crushing them. It's hair metal, it comes with the territory, even in 2018. Let's read the description of the TonePrint so you'll get more of an idea of what this thing's about.
Want to make a physical impact on your audience with an epic delay tone? Then Satchel's got you covered. When we met up with Steel Panther's oh so humble guitarist, he had only one condition: that the tone be as wet as the ladies in the front row. With Pussy Melter, that's exactly what you get. A delay tone, which perfectly nails that heavy metal lead tone whilst simultaneously ensuring that the janitor ain't going home early. So if glam rock guitar solos and wet floor signs are your idea of a good time, then Pussy Melter for flashback delay is definitely the TonePrint for you.
Yeah, I know, the description is goofy as fuck, but Steel Panther have always been a goofy band, so it fits. Sure, you could argue that the description should be more general and just say,
this TonePrint helps you to sound like Steel Panther's guitar shredder Satchel.
But that doesn't sound as attention-grabbing as what we just read, does it? Not according to Raphael Standell Preston, the vocalist, guitarist, and keyboardist of an indie rock band called Braids, it doesn't.
What fucking year is this? Please sign my friend's petition to edit/remove at TC Electronics' disgusting write-up for their Pussy Melter guitar effect pedal, as a female guitarist and just a female in general, this makes me super disappointed.
To be fair, I do appreciate how she's at least leaving open the possibility that the description could be changed and isn't saying specifically that the tone print should be outright removed. I can get behind that because I really couldn't care less about the description of the tone print. That's not important to me, and I doubt it's important to anyone else. What matters is that the tone print is available for download in the app for anyone who wants to sound like Satchel. Why ruin that opportunity for everyone? However, I looked at the petition, which was created by a lady named Jessica Fanelli, and it looks like she isn't wanting to be as fair. She outright says in the beginning of her description,
"This petition is to have TC Electronic take away the Pussy Melter tone print found on their Flashback Delay series, in addition to all other tone prints by the guitar player Satchel."
And she states at the end of her description that she wouldn't have known about this had she not been researching the TonePrint app to write a review for it. So what, is this app not worth looking further into for review purposes just because of Satchel's TonePrint? Because that totally doesn't make you sound close-minded. I'd argue had you stuck to writing this review and just noted the name Pussy Melter as a small flaw to deduct points over, as much as how I think that's a silly reason to deduct points in a review, it'd be more productive than creating a petition whining at TC Electronic to get rid of it. Especially since she also decides in this petition to go on an unnecessary tangent where she parrots conspiracy theories about the music and guitar industries being sexist that I and plenty of other people have debunked to death.
This TC Electronic product promotes and implies the ideas that A, the guitar world is dominated by heterosexual males and marketing for guitars/guitar products should be aimed at these males. B, these males will decide to use their musical influence to sexually manipulate heterosexual women fans. And C, that the guitar world is excluded from the professional boundaries enforced by society to ensure that no product offends, excludes, or harms a particular group of people.
By now you should be seeing the obvious elephant in the room. This lady and anyone supporting her are not in the least bit familiar with Steel Panther. Let me spell it out for you. Again, since I already kind of said this earlier in this video. Steel Panther is a comedic band who, outside of the musical elements which people can find enjoyment in, aren't meant to be taken seriously. Everyone who listens to them knows this. For fuck's sake, this is a band that wrote a song about how they want to be just like Tiger Woods, a celebrity infamous for being an adulterer. Do you really think the fans are stupid enough to actually think they're being serious? I mean, I know there are some morons within the metal community. I like to make videos arguing and debunking these kinds of people in metal, but I know they don't amount to the entire metal audience, let alone Steel Panther's entire fan base. If you don't like Steel Panther's music or you don't find the lyrics funny, that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm not going to act like your opinion is wrong, but at least have your facts straight. If you knew anything about Steel Panther, you'd know that this is their style of humor, and thus it isn't something you should be getting all worked up over. But then again, we do live in a time where the joke police run rampant. I might find the description of the Pussy Melter to be very tongue-in-cheek and not exactly laugh your balls out funny. That pun was horrible, I apologize. But should it have any bearing on whether or not a product whose objective is to help capture a guitar tone exists?
No!
Let me also mention, since I know people like this are the kind to unironically argue this, just because someone likes Steel Panther's music doesn't mean that they condone actual misogyny and violence against women. Like I said, they aren't a band that's meant to be taken seriously. They're a band you listen to just have fun, rock out, and giggle a little, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyone who actually does take the lyrics seriously are either people who lack a sense of humor and don't realize they aren't being serious, much like yourself, or mentally deranged lunatics. Or both. I won't act like these kinds of fans don't exist, but I also won't act like they make up the majority of Steel Panther's fan base. And anyone who acts like these kinds of fans have any bearing on the music, refer to my most recent Metal Elitist video about bashing a band for their fans. Let me show you what Michael Starr, the singer, said in response to a question about Steel Panther's ability to function as a raunchy and over-the-top comedic band in the Me Too era.
People who buy tickets to our shows know what to expect, and people that maybe come for the first time, if they don't like it, they just leave, and that's just the way it is. If you go see a comic or even a magician, sometimes they have girls on stage, and comics make fun of having sex with the girls and fucking them and all that kind of thing. There's a fine line between getting a massage and making a girl suck your dick than just saying hi to them. We're asking, hey, will you please show us your boobs? You don't have to. Here's an example. Hey, will you show us your boobs?
I don't know if the interviewer is a man or a woman, but they said no.
Boom. See how easy that was? Everybody's happy.
It shows that they not only have an understanding of how subjectivity regarding humor works, but they also have an understanding of thinking for yourself as far as whether or not you want to be present in a scenario like this at one of their shows, let alone flash your tits on stage. The 2 times I've seen Steel Panther, 3 if you count me barely making the end of their set when they were on tour with Judas Priest in the fall of 2014, I was certainly not expecting to see as many people as there were flashing their tits, but one thing I can tell you is that they were definitely not being manipulated. They were just having fun, playing around, and interacting with the band. Nothing wrong with that. They're adults. They can make their own decisions. Getting back to the situation with TC Electronic, you know what the shittiest thing about this is? TC Electronic actually caved. They removed the Pussy Melter from their website. Here's the statement they made.
It's become clear that a number of people have been offended by the title and description of a delay tone print that we created over a year ago with Steel Panther's Satchel.
And they go on to say,
it has never been our intention to offend anyone, but simply to provide fans of Steel Panther with guitar presets made by Satchel. We recognize that the material was inappropriate, and we have removed the tone print in question from the app, and we will take it down from our website as soon as possible. We sincerely apologize.
Although TC Electronic were much classier in my opinion, this is just like the situation with NoFX and the Camp Punk a Drublic Fest. This is a company that just doesn't like any negative publicity, no matter how ridiculous. So of course they're not going to stick to their guns and just cave in, as opposed to doing what Miss Raphael was suggesting in her tweet that we saw and look for a way to compromise with TC Electronic. Like I said, I really don't think people, or even Satchel himself, are going to be losing sleep over the description being changed, or even the name Pussy Melter being changed. They could call it like the Satchelator or something like that. Doing that sounds much more worthwhile and productive than just caving in like they did. I'm not trying to disrespect TC Electronic or call them cowards, I'm just pointing out how they could have handled this in hindsight. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say about this. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching this video, take care, and have a nice day. I'm Shades, and I'll see you next time.